Guys, you want to hear some tea? So, yesterday I got hit on. Oh my gosh! It doesn't usually happen a lot, but this guy, we were volunteering and he's kind of like sharing his testimony, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm impressed. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, so can I have your phone number? Are you single? And I was a little surprised because guys usually aren't that direct, so it kind of threw me off guard, but I was like, sure. And then I didn't give him my number. We were just talking because I was trying to see if he was actually a good person or not. So he was pretty direct and he just started throwing some questions and I was answering them, and then I was like, all right, well, you're so good at shooting straight, like here I come. So I started shooting my questions and all of a sudden this man started buffering because it's one way, like you can say you're about something, but then once it comes to showing that it could not be the case. So he started sharing some stories. I started pointing out some things, and he just didn't really know how to respond. And I thought it was a really interesting experience because dating for me hasn't been a pleasant experience. I used to think like, oh, just because a man like he goes to church, he knows Proverbs, that means that he's a godly man. And no, it doesn't. You know who else knows the Bible? Satan knows the Bible. Just because they know Proverbs 31 doesn't mean that they're a godly man. And sometimes they are a godly man, they're just not your godly man. And this has been a frustration for me because God, how am I supposed to know? How am I supposed to test someone by their fruit, right? Because, like, before, the fruit was really obvious. It was really obvious that it was not good fruit. But as of lately, like, this fruit is 3D printed. This fruit has natural shadings. If you don't really examine it, you can't tell that it's fake fruit. So I've just been, God, how am I supposed to figure this out? You know that I have a desire for marriage. You know that people tell you what you want to hear. How am I supposed to tell if someone is the real thing or if someone is fake, right? And I told him, like, Lord, I don't want just a person like this. I want a person that this is something that is very, very important to them, that this is something that they value. And we're walking out, we're throwing some trash out, and there's a silence, right? As we're walking, and this man just shoots the most random question. He's like, hey, like, why do you do this? Like, why do you volunteer? And I was like, oh, well, I like giving back to my community. I think it's important. And that had been something that I had told God, someone that values being a volunteer. And he's like, wow, that's crazy. If I didn't have to do this, I wouldn't do it. And I just thought that it was so random that the thing that I told God that I wanted that to be something important to them, that I haven't known this guy for an hour and he's already saying how that is the one thing that is not important to him. Because, aside from that, he was very handsome, went to the gym, ambitious, going to school. And then as soon as he said that, I was like, oh yeah, you're a great guy, but you're not my great guy. And I thought it kind of gave me peace, right? That I won't have to be a super high-end detective trying to see, like, wow, do our values match? It really is just waiting for them to speak, and they'll literally just tell you what you need to hear. And now I think that sometimes I get really frustrated with God as, oh Lord, how can I find out? How can this? How can that? And the thing is that people show their true colors, but at the end of the day, it comes down to, are we going to be obedient enough to walk away? Or out of my desperation, would I just cling on to him? Because that's what I would always do in the past, right? Cute guy, goes to church, gives me any attention. Oh my gosh, he's my husband, I'm gonna marry him. Just throw myself down and just ignore all of the red flags. I felt really proud of myself that he said something that was not aligned with my values, and I was just like, okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna continue to entertain this. So I think sometimes it's when God shows you somebody's true colors, it's just a matter of whether you're gonna listen or whether you're going to think that you're Bob the Builder and you can fix them.